Oh, so good. And I'm ready to pass out in food coma. But no, we are here to podcast with high energy.
You're damn right, Todd. What? We got to do this. We can't. Don't make me replace you with another with a younger, more lively, energetic Todd.
That's basically anybody.
Find some random intern. Their name isn't even Todd. I'll declare that they are Todd now. Like, I'm Steven. You're Todd. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to the Getting Off Topic podcast. This is Tony.
This is Todd.
And we are back after a very brief hiatus because it was decided that the last episode was so garbage that it was busy through the week anyway. I didn't have time to sit there and edit, so I just kind of like let it fly. I was like, fuck it. Like, we were low energy anyway. We were both, I forget why I was so out of it, but I just felt like I had zero energy. I felt like I didn't sleep that night or something. I don't know, but whatever. So we have a smattering of older headlines, which I think are so cool and we should talk about, and some new stuff too. But yeah, first and foremost, I am gonna get all my old man notes together here because today I am officially 29 for the seventh time in a row. Yeah.
Doesn't really hit to your 29 for the 11th time in a row.
Oh, Jesus. No, we're not going there yet.
I am closer than further. I'll put it that way.
You're closer to 40 than you are 30.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am now too. I now join those ranks. I guess you can still technically get away with saying, oh, I'm in my mid 30s. Like, yeah, that's like maybe 34, 35, 36. Whatever. You know, the numbers don't really bother me. Like it's like whatever. It's just a fucking another number. It's just another year. But I usually, if I do have any freakouts, it's because I'm comparing to like what I was doing with my life the year prior. So it's like, because, you know, just naturally, just like people do with New Year's, it's like, oh, where was I last New Year's? Oh, I didn't lose those pounds I said I was going to, or oh, I didn't get around to writing the great American novel or some shit, whatever. I actually had, I was telling you, I did have the last couple of days, I had my kind of weird ups and downs mood wise, just because I was kind of feeling that I don't really have any regrets because this past year I told myself, like, I'm not going to get around to any of my creative shit because I just used the working from home situation to work all that easy overtime, which, you know, we kind of needed to for our situation. But I definitely started feeling the burnout like a week or two back. So I made the wise choice to take a break from the overtime. And since I did that, I realized, like, oh yeah, I don't know if I can go back. Because I feel like the shackles are off me. I'm like, oh my God, Dobby is a free elf.
You've realized how much you can accomplish with just a couple extra hours in your day now.
Yeah, I mean, Meg was calming me down like she does. That's her lot in life as the missus. She's like, Tony, like, calm the fuck out, chill the fuck out. Oh great, somebody's car alarm's going off.
Wah, wah, wah.
Well, that's cool. Okay, there we go. Just keeping it real here on Getting Off Topic podcast. I was kind of going down my rabbit hole of like, like another year's gone by and I still haven't fucking touched my, the next book. I haven't gotten back to writing like I wanted to. I haven't my camera. I was kind of going back and forth with selling my DSLR camera for the last several years because I was like, at this point, it's like, well, aren't our phone cameras good enough? Like,
you mentioned that like when I was still living with you.
Yeah,
that was like 4 years ago.
And then I would toy with it. Sometimes I think I even put it up for sale a couple times online or just put out feelers. Hey, anybody want this? and then I would inevitably just take it back down and say, oh, I'll keep it. One of these days, I'm going to get around to, playing with it again, whatever. But yeah, all those thoughts were swimming in my head these past few days, or this past week, really. And then Meg was like, settle the fuck down. Like, you accomplished a lot this past year. You did what you were going to do with your whole, saving tons of money and investing, whatever, and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it's definitely hitting right at the birthday. My entire body was like, okay, time to pivot now before you go insane and another year goes by where you don't get around to the creative shit again. So, I mean, we picked up the podcast again. That was part of getting back into that, which has been cool. But yeah, I think it's definitely this next year will be definitely high time to get back to the fun shit I want to do. So
Next year is work on Tony year rather than work on bank account year.
yeah, I mean, that was very necessary. And I'm glad that I have that cushion now. But now that I do, I can breathe easier. Like, okay, we're going to be fine. So get back to the shit that actually, makes me enjoy life instead of just slog through, clock in, clock out, eat something, shit, go to sleep, rinse,
wake
repeat.
up, repeat.
Yeah. So yes, this is the summer of George. The season of change, or however the fuck you want to put it. Anyway, so that's been my last couple of days. More of my early midlife crisis shit. Todd, how you doing?
Oh, nothing new. Just the same old existential dread and playing video games.
Same shit. Yeah. See, there's my problem. I haven't made time to distract myself from the existential dread with mindless video games. So
Exactly.
more mindless video games for Tony. I squeezed in a little bit the past couple weeks. I finally got closer to the end of Doom. I think last time we talked, I finished the main campaign, and now I finished the first DLC. And so I just have number 2, the Ancient Gods Part 2 to go through. It's been pretty cool. I'm actually really liking, there's more story to it now. I mean, once I'm done with it all, I'll have to go through like a YouTube explainer because a lot of it is just bonkers and there's no way I'm reading all those like long ass lore pages that you find in the levels. But it's kind of like it's not just like a war against oh great, now we got fucking helicopters flying. What the hell?
Got the ghetto bird flying over.
Yeah, good old Stanton. Oh man. Oh my god, so I'm rapid firing here. I'm full of like cake and sugar right now. Thanks to Megs. I forget if we hit record before we started talking about that, but I had a long ass day of working today, which was lame for a birthday, but it's okay. My actual weekend starts tomorrow. But Meg did make some delicious dinner and a homemade birthday cake, which is a Harvey Wallbanger. If you're not familiar, it's basically a cake made with vodka and orange juice. And it's fucking delicious. God damn it. I'm just gonna have to close this door. The whole neighborhood's just being douches right now. Been getting through Doom finally. So I will spend more time doing that. I'll probably get through the next DLC my weekend again starts tomorrow. So Monday and Tuesday. Yes. More video games, more creative shit, more happy fun times.
Yay.
Yeah. And more podcasts because we got a shitload of news in the past couple weeks. I mean, we don't have to rehash everything, but I think there's a few bigger headlines that we can discuss.
Should we talk about the giant elephant in the room that was the leak that we got today?
What now?
So I don't know if you saw it, but you might not have seen it, but there was a leak for the Spider-Man trailer today.
I did not catch wind of this, no.
Don't watch it. It's a shitty cam. It's a shitty cam off of a cell phone of an in development with no CGI effects version of the trailer.
Oh, yeah, I'll pass.
Don't watch it. but it is out there in the world, so it exists.
So there's just like a big, like you see Spider-Man swing in or like in the middle of a conversation, and then it flash cuts over to just like a big marker that says like insert Doc Ock here.
You see Doc Ock in the trailer. You see Peter on top of a train, but then there's like floating objects that are just like cylinders. There are no effects on it. It's just like the basic CG render you see, or how CG looked in like the 80s. And it's mostly the majority of the trailer is a conversation with him and Doctor Strange. So that's the majority of the trailer.
All right. It's cool. Yeah, I'm sure we'll catch it soon enough. Yeah, and I'm betting on September for sure.
I think Sony had people are now speculating it's going to be like Sony's CinemaCon. So when does that come out?
I have no idea.
August 23rd through 26th. So this weekend, actually, or this coming couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since we're on the Marvel news, might as well roll right into it. There is a big reveal or big announcement in an interview with Kevin Feige last couple days, saying that well, we already heard previously, and I had forgotten about this news, but they announced that Riri Williams, Iron Man's successor, essentially.
Ironheart.
Yeah, Ironheart, young African American girl who basically just on her own builds her own Iron Man armor, if I remember the story correctly. So there was already previous news that that was going to be one of the upcoming Disney Plus shows. No real release window on that, but they announced when they did their big like phase 4 announcement stuff that was coming down the line. But now Kevin Feige in a recent interview the last couple of days announced that the character Riri Williams you will first meet in Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. So they're working on that right now, and I think he said she actually started shooting this past week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another candidate for Young Avenger.
There you go. Looks like that's coming down the line. In the past 2 weeks, we did get our first 2 episodes of What If, which we talked about a little bit in our Lost episode. The first episode at that point was the Peggy Carter one, or Captain Carter, which was fucking rad enough. And then episode 2 came along, and we got T'Challa Star-Lord, which, you know, bittersweet. The one of the final performances of Chadwick Boseman.
I think that was his final performance.
His final performance, yeah.
The last thing he did.
Yeah, I think in that same interview Feige did this past week, he touched on a few things, but he did mention that that Chadwick was actually the first of the MCU cast to sign up for the What If show. Like, he was all gung ho about getting as much of the character out there as possible while, you know, he still had a chance. So, but yeah, those I went in not expecting anything. I mean, I knew it's Marvel. I knew I was going to enjoy it, and I thought it would be like, oh, cool, like fun little like side story passive thing to watch. But those episodes, man, they are kicking ass. Like, they're, I don't know how you feel about them, but it's like, so effectively so the What If thing is the Watcher, played brilliantly by Jeffrey Wright, who introduces, like, does an intro outro narration for every episode, is introducing us to, now that we're being exposed to the multiverse and everything in MCU. Now we get to touch on all these what if side stories, like, hey, in this parallel universe, if one or two certain circumstances went a different way, if somebody made a different choice in this moment and that branched out to a different universe, a different way of a sequence of events and whatever. So the first one was with Peggy Carter when the Hydra agent sabotaged Steve Rogers' Well, the
Super
experiment,
soldier.
yeah, the super soldier experiment right in the middle of it. He sets off the bomb. Steve, in this reality, Steve actually gets injured in the moment and he gets shot actually. And so he can't survive the procedure. He can't go in. He's like about to bleed out. So Peggy makes that instant choice, that instantaneous decision to hop in herself. She's like, no, this is our only chance to do this experiment. Like, I'm hopping in the tank. And she does. Howard Stark goes along with it, even though they're like, no, don't do it. And then boom, she's well, Captain Carter. She's effectively super soldier Peggy Carter, which kind of weirded me out at first because she looks all kind of hulked out like She-Hulk, but then it works. And as soon as you see like her in the full Captain America, or I guess Captain Britain outfit and everything, and she's like having the time of her life, just like knocking Hydra cars off the road and shit, and Nazi cars and whatever, and just kicking ass. Like, that was really cool and brilliantly performed by Haley Atwell, who seemed to be having a great time being back in the MCU. And now I want to see more live action Haley Atwell back in the MCU.
Who doesn't? Come on now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And we'll get more of her spy action in the next Mission Impossible movies. She's on those, but yeah, that was really good times. And so these episodes, they're like 30 minutes long, 30-ish, maybe 33 or whatever, but they're just really condensed, very fast-paced retellings of the movies, just, in this alternate universe sequence of events happening.
The Peggy Carter episode followed a little more closely to the first Avenger. The T'Challa Star-Lord one was a bigger departure and more of its own unique story, which I think it worked well.
It worked very well. Yeah. Wildly different. And I think that was a good choice. Like the Peggy Carter, the Captain Carter one stuck a little more closely beat for beat with the first Avenger movie, just with that different version of events, all the way up to her, getting knocked into present day and Nick Fury standing right there with Hawkeye, like, holy shit, this is Peggy Carter. But then in the T'Challa episode, so the premise of this, we discover, is if Yondu, and we don't even learn this until like maybe almost midway through the episode or something, like we just start out with like the beginning of Guardians, the Star-Lord outfit with the helmet and everything, so you can't tell it's not Peter Quill, but he's stealing, I forget which
stone.
The Power Stone, yeah, from that temple on Morag, I think it is. And in this parallel universe, and I forget the name of the guard, the soldier, but he's like a huge fan of Peter Quill, of Star-Lord. Like, in the joke in the original movie was like, I'm Star-Lord. It's like, who? Like, who the hell are you? And he's just some like nobody. He's a Ravager and he's just a petty thief or whatever, and con man. In this version, T'Challa has galaxy-wide fame because T'Challa is such a great fucking dude that being in the universe, he has just righted all the wrongs. He has convinced the Ravagers, including Yondu, to like go straight and become more like Robin Hood and his merry men. Like, they're robbing the rich to give to the poor, and like, writing. They literally like reformed Thanos, which was the greatest part of this episode.
Yeah. He had a conversation with Thanos and convinced him he was wrong.
Yeah, how he could do better by just reallocating resources. He didn't need to go with this crazy plan of like wiping out half the population of the universe and everything. The good guy Thanos, and oh my god, glam Nebula. Please, can we get more of that in Guardians 3? Because Karen Gillan, even in animated form, is
By the way, the animation is fucking excellent on this series. I love it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about it at first because it's like, I was hoping for more, I don't know, maybe something more traditionally animated look, like warms my heart. But
I think the trailer didn't do the animation style justice.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, maybe they polished it more before the release or something, but it works really well. It works for the for the fast pace, the animation style works well with the incredible fast pacing of the storytelling, because they kind of have to get through as much story as they need to.
And the action is good too. Like the action sequences are not like jump cuts and like you don't see anything really. It's you actually see some good action.
Yeah, action is great. The writing is great. Like it legitimately felt like, oh, I am watching a full blown, like granted in like a very abridged format, but basically another full blown MCU movie. And I was like, man, I would be if these like these what if or versions are so good that in an alternate universe, if this was like part of the main MCU storyline, to be like, oh yeah, that totally works. Like that is just as good as the original versions we got. And in both of these episodes so far, almost the entire cast has returned, save for just a couple here and there. In this one, in episode 2, the T'Challa Star-Lord one, like everybody, I mean, Michael Rooker is Yondu, Karen Gillan, Nebula, of course, Chadwick Boseman is T'Challa.
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin, that was surprising. I mean, it was surprising to see Thanos and good guy Thanos pop up at all.
Not just good guy Thanos, but he almost sacrifices himself for Nebula.
Yeah, it was so great. I love that whole thing. He's like, oh yeah, and him trying to get Thanos and Nebula into counseling to make up and everything. He's like, come on, like he's your father. He's a farmer now. He's changed. I promise you. Blah blah blah. But I love how my favorite thing, how Thanos. It's still in the back of his mind. Like he's doing that thing where he's so proud of it still, and he's convinced that it still would work. Like, yeah, T'Challa showed me a better way, but I still think my original. I bet it would have worked. Like,
and then everybody he tells, they all have the same response. But that's just genocide.
Yeah, like no, man, no, that's genocide. And then even at the end when they're at the Wakanda, and again, oh gosh, what's her name? Plays Okoye, Denai Guerrera. She has literally one line. It's like a passing shot when everybody's having a bunch of conversations in Wakanda and the palace and stuff. And she says something like to that extent to him. She's like, he has just told her as the camera pans over his same, genocidal plan. She's like, that sounds like genocide. And he's like, no. The beauty of it is that it's random. So it's fair, He's still going on. Effectively, his crazy universe-wide genocidal plan has been reduced to his like Office Space jump to conclusions mat. Like it's the thing that it's his baby that like, oh, I had a great idea once, and he just can't shut up about it to anybody. He has to tell everybody, even though it's never going to happen. It's like, oh God, I had an idea once. But yeah. Even Karina, the collector's like slave servant, whatever. That was the same actress. All of the Black Order, Proxima Midnight, and forget the other guys' names, but all of them, original actors.
Seth Green back as Howard the Duck.
Seth Green as Howard the Duck, yes. Yeah, the only ones that did not return for I don't know whatever reasons, but Chris Pratt, Peter Quill, adult Peter Quill makes a brief cameo at the end, and it's not.
That's like one line. Does he even say anything? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
And sitting there working in a Dairy Queen.
yeah. And then Drax, different actor, was not Dave Bautista, but I did love that Drax cameo where he's just a happy bartender at the nightclub, the space nightclub. When he sees T'Challa, he gets all starstruck and he grabs him for a picture. Like, oh, my family will love this. My wife and kids will love this. So we know things worked out for him. Basically, the entire galaxy is worlds better off with T'Challa Star-Lord versus Peter Quill. Yeah. So yeah, it's been really good times. In the first episode, I forget who. Again, pretty much every, even little small side characters, everybody returned, the original actors, except for who didn't return. Oh, Chris Evans
Yeah,
was
Chris
not back
Evans.
as skinny Steve Rogers. They had a replacement for him, but I think pretty much everybody else was in there.
Tommy Lee Jones isn't playing the asshole colonel
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah, Colonel or whatever. I think it was a different Colonel though. I think it was just a brand new character,
Yeah.
which was by Bradley Whitford, who's another great character actor. So he did well as the foil to Peggy Carter. Like, oh no, you can't. You're just a science experiment gone wrong. You're not a soldier. You're a lady. You know, until she starts like kicking fucking ass, and then you see the silly calls of him like, "Oh yes, Mr. President, I've always had Peggy Carter's back. I always knew she was a straight arrow and she'd be great for us." Blah 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 blah. But yeah, yeah. I'm liking those a lot. Do we have any idea what the third episode is?
I can't find the list again, but I'm pretty sure that the third one was the Doctor Strange episode.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And then I think after that we get the zombie episode, and then
Nice.
bunch of random Guardians and Iron Man stuff.
That's cool. Oh, Meg will be down for the zombies.
Yep.
Yeah. We collected a few of those back in the day, the Marvel Zombies books, but then there was like tons of them that ended up coming out. So
I have a couple of different versions of it now.
Yeah, I think maybe we just got like the first 3 collected books or something. It's been so long since we've touched comics, but we do have a little bit of comic news from last week that we talked about on the Lost episode, but there was with Michael Keaton returning as our beloved 89 Batman, of course. There was the announcement a while back of a new comic series coming out. Turns out it's just a 6-issue limited series, at least so far. Who knows? Maybe they'll carry on if it is successful, which I imagine from the early looks of it, I got to imagine Batman fans are going to fucking love it. But I think the first issue might already be out. And it's, I'm not sure if it's carrying on any of Tim Burton's original ideas for the continuation, because originally Tim Burton was developing a third Batman movie with Michael Keaton's Batman after Batman Returns, but then the studio pivoted and went with Schumacher and Batman Forever and stuff eventually. So I don't know if it's carrying on any of those stories, but it's they're definitely working with the original Batman 89 screenwriter Sam Hamm, and they've basically they're saying they're going to, of course, bring back all the familiar characters. Catwoman's going to show up. We're going to get Harvey Dent / Two-Face. Well, I don't know if they're going to do the full Two-Face storyline, but we're going to get Billy D. Williams, Harvey Dent, which is cool because we barely saw any of him in the original. But yeah, that's a series that's probably going to get me back into collecting at least some comics here and there. Yeah. And then we had that other kind of crazy news that Danny DeVito is writing his own like special. I think it's like a special one-off issue for it's Gotham City Villains Anniversary Giant Issue #1, and it's him writing for his version of the Penguin. It's going to be a very Penguin-centric storyline for that book. So celebrating the Penguin's 80th anniversary in the whole Batman universe. Damn, that's crazy. Forget sometimes how long it's like these stories have been around for 80 fucking years. Or maybe longer than that. That's saying that it's the 80th anniversary of the Penguins, of the Penguin in the Batman universe and the Batman comics and stuff. Yeah.
Well, we had a little bit other Marvel news. So
Go for
just one small thing that came out a couple of days ago. Anthony Mackie confirmed to close the deal to star in Cap 4.
Oh,
so
cool.
we knew that was pretty much far for it was a foregone conclusion that he was going to come back for Cap 4
Yeah.
because they literally made him Captain America, and but that comes off the news that we had a couple months back where Marvel is not signing people to long-term deals anymore. They're not doing the whole like 10-year Avenger thing. They're doing one, maybe two movie deals now.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
but now they have confirmed that Anthony Mackie is back.
Yeah. Cool. I got to imagine I mean, they got to be planning event. I mean, they're probably not in any rush to do it because they have so many,
I don't
series and projects and stuff now. But eventually, they'll build up to more like team up movies.
Of course, they're going to do more team up movies. They're going to do more Avengers movies, but I don't think we're ever going to see what we did phase one through phase three. That's
Maybe.
never going to happen again. I don't think.
Yeah, that's a lot. But, all right, I'm sure they'll keep kicking ass. They'll keep doing what Marvel does.
Yep.
A little bit of older news, but I think last week we were talking about Brie Larson was in an interview and confirmed that they are actively shooting on Captain Marvel 2, or The Marvels is filming right now. She did make a few comments about it. It's pretty cool. I like this part because she was saying that they're doing a lot of practical sets, which is really cool, which you don't get very often these days, especially with these movies that are more like spacey and different worlds and stuff. But she said, no, they're actually putting an emphasis on like building these giant sets of like these different worlds that we haven't seen in the Marvel universe before. She said she comes to work and it feels like she's like living in her own private Disneyland or something. That's cool.
We also got two new trailers this week.
Oh,
We
really?
got the final trailer for the Eternals, or yeah, the final trailer for the Eternals, and another trailer for well, it was more of a hype trailer for Shang-Chi.
Oh, okay. I didn't see those.
Stuff we had already seen for
All right.
Shang-Chi at least. Did you see the Eternals trailer?
I did not. No, that was it.
It's looking really good. I like it.
Do we
I'm
get more
excited.
of do we get more of the story without spoiling the entire story? Because
Um,
I get wary of those second or third trailers.
no, it doesn't really spoil the story. I think the main takeaway is that like the big question is everybody asks, "Oh, well, why you guys are all powerful. You guys have these like Omega level powers. Why didn't you stop Thanos or whatever?" I think why didn't you help the Avengers? It's like we can't unless the abominations or whatever their enemy is called.
Hmm.
We are forbidden unless abominations are involved. They have a specific enemy name. I can't remember what the name is, like abominations or something like that.
Hmm. Okay. All right. We'll see. I have no opinion on it because I like know virtually nothing about the Eternals.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with the Eternals either. Like I know of them, but they're like top tier, like mutant level powers.
Okay.
Immortal characters, been around since the beginning of time, basically that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. All right. See how that goes. Um, I got a couple quick rapid fires can get through. Just general movie news from the past 2 weeks. The Bizarro, Peter Dinklage, Elijah Wood. Who else was in it? Kevin Bacon. Fucking, I forget who else. The weird ass Toxic Avenger reboot apparently wrapped production already. So that's coming. In the last couple of weeks, we got. So I was just talking to somebody about this. Our friends Shannon and Andrew, they've seen the Sonic the Hedgehog movie because they have kids. But Shannon actually said, no, it is actually worth watching. It's worth a watch. It's actually enjoyable. And I was always kind of curious because I miss seeing Jim Carrey being ridiculous. And so, but anyway, so I'll probably give that a shot eventually. But now Sonic 2 is happening. And Idris Elba will be playing Knuckles, which, okay.
I think we mentioned this in the other podcast, in the last week's podcast, but one of my favorite Twitter interactions of the last few months happened, and it was some naive dude posting, "Oh, Idris Elba as Knuckles." I'm shuddering or I can't remember exactly how he said it, but I hate to think how the internet is going to want to fuck Knuckles. And then the first post, the literal first post after it was, "Hello, sir. Have you ever been on the internet? That already exists."
Uh-huh. Oh boy. Yeah. And then Boss Logic. I can never remember the guy's real name, but he goes by the handle Boss Logic professionally. He does all that amazing, ridiculously amazing and beautiful digital artwork for all kinds of nerdy shit that he loves, but he also has had legit work with Marvel and other big studios now. But he just whipped up a fucking disturbing like Idris Elba Knuckles hybrid. Like he has his eyes, and it's just horrifying on all levels. But yeah, if you so dare, you can enjoy that online. It's a quick Google search away.
I got two bits of random news.
I'll go for it.
So this is more on the gaming, but half of it is movie side, but they're both Fallout related. So first one, the one that I'm excited for, there's a mod that's coming out for Fallout 4 called Fallout London. It's a complete conversion mod, and it's a story based in London. And obviously, we haven't done any overseas Fallout content at all, so
yeah,
it's supposed to be a full like game length conversion mod.
nice.
So just like that Fallout Pacific Northwest, just hopefully with less rape and controversial.
Less problematic developers.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Well, so the news actually comes. The head writer for that was actually just hired by Bethesda to be a quest writer. So
nice.
That leads us to believe hopefully maybe they're developing more Fallout content right now. We know that they're hard at work on Starfield. That's expected next year.
Right.
And next in the pipe is Elder Scrolls 6, which is not expected for a minimum of 3 to 5 years.
Wow.
So maybe Fallout is coming right up behind that. Maybe in the next 6-7 years. I don't know. But the second part of our Fallout news is there was an interview done recently with the developers of the Fallout TV series. That is actually happening, by the way, in case you forgot. It's being done by Amazon, and the producers are the same people behind Westworld.
Ooh,
so damn. So that's where the sort of controversy is a little bit. The Fallout fans are like split down the middle on this. So the developers, the producers said, yeah, it's bonkers. There's going to be, or it's like it's going to subvert expectations and is truly wild and weird and whatever they had mentioned. But the big thing is subvert expectations. Like Fallout fans, like, no, fuck no, we don't want crazy twists and subversions of our expectations. We just want our expectations met to the barest minimums.
Cater to our goddamn expectations for once.
Don't ruin our fucking franchise.
I love Fallout. Frankly, they can do whatever the hell they want, just as long as they tell a cohesive start to finish narrative. Like, I get why it worked for Westworld, but you don't have to confuse the fuck out of us this time.
Exactly. It doesn't.
Don't make the entire story from the point of view of a synth with a shoddy brain or something. Like, don't do that shit. No unreliable narrator. Just give us a straightforward adventure, please, for the love of God.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't want to have to deep dive on Reddit and wherever I can for an explanation chart and like, wait, when did this sequence of events take place? Oh, that was all in the synth's brain, but really this was happening at the same time. And this happened 70 years in the past, and then we skipped forward to this. God damn it. No.
Just want people wandering around, finding their caps, finding skeletons in weird location, and battling like crazy.
There you go. Yeah. Speaking of Amazon Studios, there was a little first look at the Wheel of Time cast. I don't know if you caught that, but in Rosamund Pike is really the only recognizable name that I see as the main sorceress or what have you. But I mean, looks like generic. Look, it passes for medieval fantasy. A bunch of people walking in a field, a fellowship, if you will.
We had our first look from Clerks 3 that has been filming for the past 2 weeks.
Yes.
An image of the 4 main cast members.
Yep.
Most of them look identical to their younger selves, just with some more wrinkles, except for Rosario Dawson. She literally looks identical to her 20-year-old self.
Like, if not younger, if not de-aged. In fact, after that was put out, like on the magazines, whatever, wherever that first look was released, I think on like Vanity Fair or something. Then Kevin Smith posted it on his own, social media accounts, and his caption said something. Well, what we were all thinking. He said something like this: recreating this shot because they have like a promo shot from when they were filming Clerks 2 with everybody at movies. And the 4 main principal actors now in the quick stop in Clerks 3. He was like, he said something like, I purposely, wanted to recreate this moment, this very exact shot here to show the ravages of time and what it does to us. But fucking Rosario, with her fountain of youth, like she completely does away with that. Everybody else is all, aged appropriately, but she looks, if anything, younger than she did in 2006. Oh yeah, Meg saw that and she like instantly shared on Instagram. She's like, Rosario, share your goddamn fountain of youth that you're clearly keeping for yourself. Yeah,
she's a witch.
I'm excited for that. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, here's one quick. I think this is the last one that I was excited about. Not that the particular content of this, but the fact that this is still actually happening.
Okay.
Tron 3 adds Dune producing designer Patrice Vermette.
Wow. Okay.
So the designer for the production sets and all that from Dune is on the Tron 3 team now. But the news is Tron 3 is still happening, because that was a rumor a couple years ago with Jared Leto attached and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
My only regret though is that Daft Punk is not a thing anymore, so they cannot do the soundtrack. They could bring in. No, don't say it's fine. Because the best thing about that damn movie was the soundtrack. It was essentially a 2-hour fucking Daft Punk music video.
Yeah, I am not taking away the contributions that Daft Punk has graced us with over the many, many years. They paved the way for sure to the magical land of wub wub music. But now we have a plethora of fantastic wub wub music creators that have that are now carrying the torch that Daft Punk passed on to them. So I think it'll be fine. What I really hope is that they don't just scrap the storyline and try and start fresh and do what they usually do, is like, oh, let's forget what happened before and then let's just try to soft reboot this shit again and see if we can reinvigorate a franchise of movies or series or some bullshit. Like, just finish what you started. Like, give us Olivia Wilde and like at least carry her story on, because they left that like very open-ended, and that I don't know. We'll see what they do. Tron's a weird one to crack down. I think that's a weird nut to crack. I think is the right phrase for that.
Yeah, they don't mention if so we still don't know if it's a continuation or a hard reboot or a soft reboot. We don't know.
Yeah. All right, we'll see. But it's good to know that they've got it in the works. Okay, a couple more rapid fires, a little bit of old stuff. John Wick 4 is still a coming, and it keeps adding people that I like. Clancy Brown, motherfucking Mr. Krabs, is down to party with John Wick. No idea who his character is, if he's going to be on his side or against him or whatever. But honestly, I think I would love to see a Clancy Brown and Keanu Reeves throwdown. That would be badass.
It would be nice.
Yeah.
I think I'm done like reading anything about this movie because I'm already so hyped for it. I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to get anything. I don't want to get anything spoiled for this one.
Yeah, I agree. Disney's Cruella movie, which I didn't give a shit about when I first heard about it, but then I heard from everybody like, holy shit, this is actually a really good movie. Surprised everybody. Emma Stone locked the deal for a Cruella sequel, and also Cruella, the first movie, will be free on Disney Plus to stream on the 27th. So just a few days away, because I'm a cheap ass and I didn't go to the theater or pay $30 at home to see it. So we finally get to watch that.
I'm upset that I won't be able to pay $30 and watch Shang-Chi at home because I am not going to a theater.
Yeah. Are you just because of COVID and everything? You're very like,
yeah, like I'm vaccinated and everything, but I still don't want to risk catching it.
I understand. Yeah, it's Meg and I. We've made just 2 exceptions so far. We went for A Quiet Place 2, which was great in theaters, and Black Widow. And thankfully we found at our local Regal theaters just right down the road. They have like $5 Tuesdays, and we go like on a matinee, and we've got like the whole place to ourselves. There's literally only been like 2 other people at both of those movies that we went to. So it felt safe enough for us, but I know everybody has their comfort thresholds. I mean, even I, if I see like a place filling up too much, I'm still like little leery, a little bit on
it.
Yeah,
I went to the casino last week, and I like the moment I got out of there, I started having a panic attack. I was like, I shouldn't have been in there. I was in there without a mask while I was drinking and while I was eating, and enclosed space, and all these people walking around with no masks. And literally, like the next day, I started feeling like crap, and I knew it was just anxiety, but I don't want to put myself through that again.
Playing with fire. Another quick one, but pretty cool one from the previous week. We already got our news from the Netflix Wednesday Addams series that Luis Guzman is our new Gomez Addams, and now we got Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia, which I haven't seen. I can't remember the last thing I saw her in, but I think she's done a lot of.
I think we talked about it. Like she took like she did a few TV guest spots, but for the most part, she's been retired for the last like 7-8 years.
Yeah. I told Meg the news, and she was like, I don't care about her or whatever. I was like, really, Catherine Zeta-Jones? And so
she
like
was 90s hotness.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I haven't seen her lately, but I'm sure she's fine, and she's a fine actress. I had no problem with her. But I told Meg, like, you're not going to be happy unless like they time travel back and just grab Raul Julia and like younger.
Well, they could have used Christina Ricci.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But oh well.
Speaking of classic TV, this one is right up your alley. Roku orders more full episodes of Reno 911.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, so it's being revived a second time.
Oh my god, that's awesome. I still have to watch that latest season. So we had the original Reno series and the movie, which Meg and I did see in the theaters. Then Quibi. did a new full season, and I have yet to see it because I didn't pay for fucking Quibi for the 5 minutes that it existed. But then after that folded, a few months later, it was announced that Roku would be absorbing pretty much all of their content and redistributing it for free. So I don't know if it's up yet, but I do need to watch that latest Reno batch of episodes that season. And so now they're announcing they are going to keep doing more.
Yes, they've announced they're doing another season of 911 on Roku.
That's rad. That's one of those things, like it's too good, it's never gonna die. It'll still like keep puttering along in some format. Like, I mean, like Futurama, they continued on. Like, how many times did they get canceled or finished
Same with
and then restart?
Family Guy. Family Guy's been on air for like 20 years now, and it was canceled like 3 different times.
God, that's crazy. That was because of the censorship in the beginning. Like, everybody flipped the fuck out when Family Guy was the most racy thing on the air in its first couple seasons. I think it got canceled in the first season, then brought back, then canceled in the second season, then brought back again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How funny.
Oh, this is one that I was going to talk about earlier, but I forgot about it. We had our first look at a new Star Wars property in forever.
Oh.
So we had our first trailer for Star Wars Visions.
Oh, that's the Star Wars Animatrix, basically, right?
Yeah, the animated anthology. So that released about 5 days ago, and I'm gonna be honest, it looks really fucking hype.
Yeah.
Like, it looks good.
Nice. I'll have to check
I'm
that
excited
out.
for that.
Nice. Do we have a release date or release window on that?
Let me find out. September 22nd.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so a month from now.
Sweet. It's coming right up. In other Star Wars news, it was announced a day or two ago that the Obi-Wan show has wrapped production. Or I don't know if they made an official announcement for it, but there was like various cast members were sharing on their social media, like, "Oh, I'm wrapped for Obi-Wan, like the whole season or whatever." So that's coming down the line. Last week or so, we got headlines that apparently they are looking to cast the live action Sabine Wren for the Ahsoka series. And everybody's speculating who they're going to cast. I have no idea. I don't even know who would fit the bill.
Just give it to the voice actress. Like, she looks similar to the character. She got the voice, and she's going to be in Mandalorian armor majority of the time.
Yeah.
So just give it to her.
Very cool. And they got Katie Sackhoff for
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. Thank you. Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, and in our other beloved space series, again, this is a week old, but still exciting. The Orville finally officially wrapped filming season 3. Seemed like it would never. This is like Half-Life 3 confirmed. But yeah, Seth MacFarlane made a big stink about it online, saying like, kind of like, thank God. But they had pictures of like, I think like the wrap party cake and everything, and T-shirts for the cast and crew saying like, I survived 3 years on the Orville, and that's not as in they survived seasons 1, 2, 3. Like, no, it's legitimately been roughly 3 years to get this season 3 in the can, because 2019, 2020 year of COVID, and then now 2021 halfway through it. So, but yes, we are going to get our season 3 of Orville. It does exist. It is coming. And Seth MacFarlane was pointing out, I forget what wording he used, but he was basically not ruling out more seasons to come. I think it was kind of through internet chatter before, like last year, it sounded like people were suggesting like, oh, he's too busy signing on with more dramatic projects on other networks and everything. Like, he's not going to have any time for, he's done with
Have
Orville.
you ever looked at Seth MacFarlane's like workload? He is always too busy for fucking everything, yet he still manages to do it.
He's still going to do it. Yeah. But yeah, he said something like can't wait to blast off into space again with you guys or something. But for now, like take a hard earned rest or something like that. Yep. Oh, another one that we keep hearing, much like John Wick 4, we keep hearing about awesome awesome people joining the cast of Taika's Our Flag Means Death, his HBO pirate comedy show. Fred Armisen is now joining the gang. So they're just going to get like every comedian out there just like, hey, you want to be on my pirate ship? Sure.
I'm not a Fred Armisen fan. So,
Oh, really?
nah.
Okay. No Portlandia for you?
No Portlandia. I'm not the biggest guy into like the awkward humor.
It's hit or miss for me, and I understand why it's a big miss for some people. Like sometimes it's just too cringy, awkward that it's like I'm not even having fun right now.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it hits right. I don't know. But I don't know. I didn't catch on to Portlandia until its last couple of seasons, but I really enjoyed it. And both Meg and I. But I don't know. Well, we'll see. For the Adventure Time fans out there, like me and Meg, there's actually more coming. They've been doing their 4 little one-off specials on HBO Max. They have one more to go coming in September, I believe. But they just announced that they're doing a spin-off show. HBO Max just ordered a new half-hour spin-off series for featuring Fiona and Cake, who were the like alternate universe female versions of Finn and Jake, the main two. So they had like a little random special episodes every now and again.
Cake is the theme for tonight's podcast. Cake has been brought up in like five different subjects we've had already tonight.
Cake, yeah. Title of the episode: Harvey Wallbanger. Oh man, I might have more of that tonight.
As soon as we get off this podcast, that lemon cake is calling to me.
Yes. Cake. And some gaming and collectible news. I think this was another one I talked about on the Lost episode. But recently, in the last couple of weeks, there was an announcement for Avatar: The Last Airbender, who Meg and I are great fans of now. They were, I forget what board game company, but they were kickstarting, and it's official, it's tied with Nickelodeon, but they paired with a tabletop game maker, Magpie Games, for a crowdfunding kickstarting campaign for Avatar Legends tabletop RPG, where if you're familiar with the Avatar universe and Legend of Korra, it's like the chosen one, the Avatar, who has all the different elemental powers combined.
So do you know, is it an actual board game, or are they doing like a pen and paper D&D style?
That's actually a good question. It's described as a tabletop RPG. So I guess, is that more like D&D?
Yeah, that's more of a pen and paper D&D style game.
All right. Okay, so they're putting together like the rule book and everything.
Yeah, the rule set and probably some pre-made encounters and stuff.
Okay, so the idea is that you're playing as your own, from scratch Avatar character, and I don't know if it's gonna strictly be in like, it's in this era of this universe, because there's many different eras. There's so much lore behind the two shows, it's crazy, and comics. They can expand the universe in the comics, but we'll see. But all I know is that you're effectively like you're playing your own customized character, your own version of the Avatar. But the news last week was that it had met its goal in record time, like 16 minutes. It earned, well, their initial goal was 50 grand, and like 15-16 minutes it was done. And then since then they were so successful beyond that they ran out of stretch goals. they just kept pouring in. So like ever since I think it was mid last year, both of the shows, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Legend of Korra, they went to streaming on Netflix. And so this whole resurgence of that franchise has occurred. So they've got like the old fans reinvigorated, like, oh my God, yeah, Avatar's back, and newcomers now, because it's been like 10 plus years since well, definitely more than 10 years since the original show aired. I forget when it was exactly, but like early 2000s, I think is when it all started. So it was the first show, ran for 3 years. Then after that came Legend of Korra, which is the next Avatar, the successor. And they've continued the storylines through comics and stuff. And then we talked about earlier, a few episodes back, that Nickelodeon, since seeing like the fan base excited for more content, now they teamed up again. They rehired the original creators of the whole universe, and they're working on like new projects. They haven't said specifically, but probably new movies, new series, new whatever. It feels like when Adventure Time was taking off, like when Adventure Time exploded, and it was like in every corner you looked of Comic-Con was Adventure Time everything. Like everything had, these big series had their moments. Like the first time I saw, I was a couple years behind when Doctor Who exploded in America, especially with the reboot series and everything. And I was like, just seeing Doctor Who at every fucking con, at every turn, like every look, like what the fuck is going on here? And then I started watching it. I was like, oh, I get it. And then same thing with Adventure Time.
And that's exactly what's going on with Avatar right now. Like,
yeah,
one of the biggest subreddits right now, the last like say year, is like Avatar memes, and it's like they haven't put out new content for Avatar in fucking years.
yeah.
So why is this suddenly exploding on Reddit? So it's one of like the top 10 subreddits. But
yeah. It's that Netflix exposure.
Yeah.
So now maybe if they put Farscape on Netflix and finally fucking get my Farscape continuation. That's a long stretch.
Very, very, very long frelling stretch.
Good on you. Oh man. I think last but not least, our buddy Sean K, who did our beloved Getting Off Topic theme song, sent me this just a couple nights ago. In official, Todd, growing up as a child of the 80s/90s, you know when I say Nerf, it is Nerf or nothing. Am I right? So it was announced this past week that they are making our 80s, 90s hearts explode with an official Aliens pulse rifle. So for the ridiculous collector who still wants to buy Nerf guns, you can get, I guess pretty soon, a replica M41A Colonial Marines pulse rifle from James Cameron's Aliens.
But of course, it's got to be bright yellow.
Oh, it probably will be, yeah, because you don't want to give cops more excuses to shoot kids in the face.
They don't need an excuse. It just happens.
I
do have one bit of sad news.
Don't bring us down.
Beloved actor and martial artist and Hattori Hanzo from Kill Bill, Sonny Chiba, died of COVID complications this past week.
I did see that. That sucks.
Yeah, that's really, really fucking rough. He was an amazing martial artist actor.
Yeah, that's a legend right there. 82 years old. And to go that long and have just be, this fucking virus. Yeah. Goddamn. But I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's a fucking horrible way to go out. But I mean, great life, that guy, incredible legacy he leaves behind. 1939 to 2021. Damn.
Yep.
I might have to do a Kill Bill rewatch. It's been a long while.
Definitely, yeah. I watched them a couple months back, and they were fucking amazing, like always.
Yeah. Man. Did you hear about Quentin Tarantino? He actually released a novel version of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I still haven't actually seen that yet.
No?
No, of
That's a good one. I definitely recommend. I mean, if you enjoy Tarantino,
course.
it's definitely one of his better ones for sure. I liked it a lot. But yeah, he came out with kind of like a pulp novel version of the movie where he kind of expands more on some of the characters and stuff. But I heard that I think I listened to him on a podcast. I think he was on Mark Maron's podcast like a couple months ago. They were talking about it, but it sounded really cool. It sounded kind of right up my alley, something ridiculous and pulpy. Yeah,
We'll definitely check that out.
yeah. I might as well give a few of the remaining little minor headlines from last week. What We Do in the Shadows, another beloved show. We're waiting to come back. Season 3 starts September 2nd. And the news from last week is that they're already renewed for season 4.
Oh shit! Sorry,
Oh,
I was going over Sunny Chiba's IMDb to see like things that I could rewatch.
yeah.
I didn't. I don't know. Okay, so this is a quintessentially like 80s, early 90s franchise.
Okay.
Did you ever watch the Iron Eagles movies?
No, the name is familiar, but I
The
never.
It's Louis Gossett Jr. That's where he got his like fame from the Iron Eagle movies.
Was it like a B
Fighter
version of
pilot.
B version Top Gun,
Yeah,
essentially?
pretty much. Is
Okay.
a kid. A kid has a dad who's a fighter pilot. Dad goes down somewhere. I don't remember. It was Vietnam or the Gulf or something like that. And then
Hmm.
so the kid becomes a fighter pilot in honor of his dad. And Louis Gossett Jr. is the his like superior slash like adoptive father character. And
Uh-huh.
then like for the second and third movies in the franchise, they like go rogue and like are off they're not in the military anymore, and they do like well, but for the third film they do this sort of they gather the this intrepid team of old mercenaries from previous wars, and they fly like old ass like prop planes and shit rather than jets. And I forgot that Sonny Chiba
What?
was the Japanese pilot literally flying a zero in this.
Oh my God.
Oh, this one was so bonkers.
That sounds hilarious.
Good old 80s. And I can remember oh, IMDb even has a photo of the fucking cassette. Wow, the cassette box.
Giving you all the retro feels.
Yeah, let me link this to you. You can see the glorious cover work.
Oh, that's badass. That is 80s gold. Iron Eagle 3 Aces. Unofficial mission. Unconventional tactics. Unbelievable courage. And the
So 80 it hurts.
Lady Rambo there with a fucking M16. Oh, it's
Yeah,
in DTS surround sound. Nice.
she's the sister of like one of his like former military buddies or something like that. And like she goes back to her home village, and her home village is under like terrorist control or something. That's why they gotta get these old aces out of the mothballs and suit them up in their finest World War II and Vietnam era planes.
Oh my God. Fucking 80, 80s and 90s and early 90s action B movies. They're just the fucking best. Just like wear their heart on their sleeve. Like, yeah, we know we're low budget trash, but we're gonna have a ball anyway. We're
Yep.
gonna blow some shit up. We're gonna have some hot ladies, and we're just gonna have a groovy time. Uh, oh fuck, what was that one? Like Miami Connection. I think. Oh my God, I have to look it up now. We're going down a rabbit hole.
Miami Connection, 1987. Oh my God, that cover art looks amazing.
I dare you to watch that movie. Oh, goody. It's free on YouTube. I dare you, sir, to watch that movie, and I'll start my Iron Eagle education.
I love how not a single one of the cast has their picture on IMDb. That's how you know it's good.
uh Oh, it is a treat, sir.
Good Lord, though, that cover art is amazing.
Uh-huh.
The guy looks like he's 12.
Yeah. Oh, it's so bad. I think that was one of the inspirations for what was it? Not Kung
Kung
Fury.
Fury?
Is it Kung Fury? That's the one. I feel like I'm mixing up name. No, yeah, Kung Fury. Yeah. Which I saw. Speaking of, I saw a rare Instagram post from the creator of that David Sanborn, I think his name is, or David Sandberg, who plays Kung Fury and like produced the whole thing, directed the whole thing. They are still working on Kung Fury 2, the movie.
It's filming right now, actually.
Yeah, I think they're working on releasing it next year. But he showed, I think on Instagram just a couple days ago, he posted himself like on wires in front of a giant green screen. And it's just like, yep, we're still working on it. I think Schwarzenegger has a cameo in it. I think Michael Fassbender is in it.
Wow.
Yeah, he just grabbed Hasselhoff, of course. He's not doing anything. Yeah. Oh man, now I'm in a B movie action mood. I gotta watch some of these.
Gotta watch some 80s action B movies.
All right. The next time we podcast, I'll have my take on Iron Eagle, at least the first one. We'll see if I get any further than that.
The first one was actually okay. The first one was good. The second and third ones kind of go off the rails and just embrace the 80s B movie. But the first one was good.
All right. Well, anything else, Todd?
I got nothing.
I think we've done our job here. I'm probably gonna go grab
I got cake to eat.
Yep, gonna go get some more.
Like I said, I was too full because I had all that steak and scalloped potatoes and corn that I couldn't eat my cake. So now I got cake waiting for me. The hour long podcast was just enough to let everything settle down and make room for cake.
Perfect. These are the important things. This is why we do this, folks. All right. Thank you very much for joining for another hour and whatever of nonsensical ridiculousness and geekery. Go watch some bonkers ass 80s action B movies. The more bonkers, the better. I want you to experience cars and like I'm talking about big ass boat cars that are held over from the 70s that are still chugging along and in car chases. And the second they get the tiniest scratch, they explode with the most ridiculous explosion that the demolitions team can afford.
Like it was a damn Jerry Bruckheimer film.
Yes. Cars exploding from like, a soft breeze in the air, unlimited ammo with Uzis. That's important, especially for
never
the 80s.
Reloading.
Yeah, never reloading. What else? An
RPG inexplicably out of nowhere.
Yes. Detectives always know at least a bit of karate. And you can't solve the crime. You can't solve the case until you've been put on suspension, until you've turned in your badge and your badge and your gun. Yes. If make sure your movie checks off all those boxes at least, and then some.
And if you can't get that, at least get the tribute that is Kill Bill.
There you go. Watch some Kill Bill. Yeah.
Which is a tribute to all like 70s and 80s B movie action flicks.
Bingo. I think the kids know what Kill Bill is, Todd.
Not necessarily. It's to the point where the generation Zoomers probably don't know Kill Bill.
Okay. Zoomers, get on your Kill Bill. All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.